Hi guys, my name is Megan and today I've got a bunch of books that feel like being wrapped up in a nice warm hug for you. Alright, so today's recommendation video is all about books that make you feel like you've been wrapped up in a warm hug, or they feel like a hug in a book form, or they're, cozy and sweet and just really good. So let's go ahead and just dive right in. So the first book I'd like to recommend to you guys today is Our Dining Table. This is a relatively recent read for me, and it's just one of the sweetest manga that I've ever read. It's just so cute and just lovely and cozy and gives you all of those warm feels. So this follows Yutaka, and he is a salesman and he kind of has struggles with eating in front of other people, but he really likes to cook. And one day he's sitting in a park and this little toddler comes running up to him because he's got food, and he's like, do you want to share the food? And he does, and then he meets this toddler's older brother, and these two boys kind of struggle with cooking themselves, so they ask Yutaka to teach them how to cook, and it just is a lovely story from there with cooking lessons, and it's just very warm and sweet. And Yutaka and Minoru, who is the older brother, kind of start falling in love over this simple act of kindness and sharing a table and sharing food, and it's just such a lovely, heartwarming story. And it's set at, I think it's set around New Year's Eve and Christmas, and it's just a lovely, lovely read. Alright, so next up for you I have Howls Moving Castle. This one should be no shock to anybody. Howls Moving Castle is one of my favorite movies, and the book itself just feels like a warm hug, and so does the movie, and this just is such a great, fun adventure. So it follows Sophie, who has the misfortune of being the oldest of 3 siblings, who is destined to fail miserably should she ever leave home and try to seek her own fortune. And that's when Sophie kind of attracts the ire of the Wicked Witch of the Waste and gets kind of cursed to be like a little old lady. And then that sets her off on her adventure of finding Howl's castle that moves around in the hills, and a great story all around. And it's a great adventure, especially if you're looking for something cozy and just warm. Alright, so next up we have Taproots. This is about Blue, who is a ghost who's having a hard time moving on, and Humal, who is a gardener that can see ghosts. And this is just a very sweet love story about a ghost falling in love for his best friend, who happens to be living and, is a gardener. Like, the colors for this book are just incredible. And it deals with necromancy, and it's just, something really soft and sweet, but also with a little bit of a drama in there of these ghosts kind of disappearing from before they head to the afterlife. And it's just such a great story, and the color and artwork is just some of my absolute favorites. And it's just honestly one of the sweetest and cutest love stories that involves necromancy that you never knew you needed. Alright, so next up we have Stardust by Neil Gaiman. This is one of my favorite of Neil Gaiman's books that I've read. This is just a fun adventure of a boy trying to find a falling star and, finding love, and there's witches in there and there's magic and all sorts of really cool, fun stuff, and it's such a sweet tale. Kind of unlike some of Gaiman's other books that are just, a little bit creepy. It's just a lovely, heartwarming book, and the movie is pretty great too, actually. This is definitely one you should check out if you're looking for a soft and sweet fairy tale that's also got a little bit of adventure, and it's just a cozy book to read. Okay, so next up I have Running with Lions. This is one of my favorite books from this year, or no, was it this year or last year? I forget when I read this, but this book is just so good. So this follows Sebastian Hughes, who is the goalie for the school soccer team, and it basically follows the soccer team at their summer training camp before school starts. And then his estranged best friend, Amir, comes to the soccer camp to join the soccer team, but Amir and Sebastian try to reconnect, and things go a little bit differently than what either of them expected. There's kind of maybe falling in love, and find out Sebastian has really bad anxiety about things, and it's just a really great book if you're looking for something that's sports related, but also kind of a little bit of a love story, and it's just really cute, and it feels like a hug in the middle of like a summer day. Alright, and then the last book that I have for you today is The House in the Cerulean Sea. This one should go without saying that this is just a giant hug in book form. So this follows Linus Baker, who is a by-the-book caseworker for the department in charge of magical youth, and he's assigned to one of the toughest cases that is out there, and it's also one of the most highest clearance cases that there is at this organization, and that is to go to this strange little island and, you know, inspect this orphanage run by Arthur Parnassus, who has some of the toughest cases of, you know, magical children or magical youth. And things start going off the rails the second he gets there. Nothing is as he expected, and Linus starts realizing that maybe things aren't what they seem, and maybe there's a little bit of a love story in there between Arthur and Linus, and it's just such a sweet book, and it will literally have you crying, but like in the best possible way. All right, so those are all of the books that I have currently that feel like a warm hug. Do you guys have any books that feel like a warm hug for you? Let me know down below. If you guys like this video, don't forget to hit the like button. If you haven't already but would like to, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like to follow me on social media for more bookish stuff, check out the links down below. Alrighty, bye guys.